Okay, today I'm going to show you how to make a metal or deathcore, whatever kind of core you listen to, like that kind of patch. Yeah, so if you watched my last video on how to make a gent patch, you know we're going to be using layout, edit, you might need recall, and you might need effects bypass. So, go into your layout. Of course, you'll need to go to your bypass, which is number 383. You'll be using that to your value wheel. Just turn it all the way to the right till you run out of patches, and it should say bypassed, and you'll get a clean signal chain. So when you're filling in your blocks for a deathcore patch, I just added this drive pedal, the first one. This was blank. I had this like just blank drive, gate, amp. I'm gonna go over how to what it sounds like and whatnot. So for my drive, I'm using a TS808. I got my drive turned all the way down, tone all the way, well, not all the way up. Level, I don't think I messed with that. And then the mix is at 100%. Page 2, I never messed with any of these. If you've watched the gent video, I don't even. So here's what's different about the treble, or the whole EQ side of this between the gent patch and this patch. I use a little bit of bass, just a hair of bass. My mids isn't cranked all the way. I keep my mid-range frequency the same. And my treble isn't really like cranked up that much, but it's there. And I believe this, you just basically, the way I'm trying to explain this is just if you want to use one drive pedal, if that's gritty enough for you, then you'll go into your gate, and then you'll see your threshold, and this is basically where all your sustain comes in. The less you roll back on this down to like that, you'll notice you'll get like a fuzzy sound coming from your amp, and you don't want that. So about between 60 and 50 is about enough, really. Your tension you want all the way down, your hold you want all the way down, the release you want all the way down. The ratio, I keep mine at a 3.21. I never mess with this. I raise this up by a decibel. Go back to layout, add your amp, and of course, to get that, how to get these, if you're just like wondering how to make a patch in general, is just how to like just go over a blank space like that, okay, where the black part is, just scroll it till you find what you want. So basically, amp cab, graphic EQ, and if you want, add a compressor. So you select, you scroll all the way till you get to amp, hit edit. Okay, I don't need to be on this page. I'm using a energy ball amp model, which is, I believe, based on an Engel Invader. I could be wrong, but I believe it's Engel. I don't notice any difference messing with this EQ. The drive I definitely notice. I don't like a whole lot of drive, and I don't like none at all within the amp parameters. So then, once you get all that set, tweak it to your taste. It's not really based on mine. I'll show you my patch. So the next, I never messed with any of this. Well, yes I did, I lied. Presence I turned up. Depth I kept cranked, and then my dampening was up there. Sag, I'm not sure if I messed with that or not. Master and level I didn't. So go to your advanced page, and I showed you this before in the how to make a gent patch. Sorry I'm moving so much, I don't have a tripod. You want to go down to where it says tone stack type, and this is where you can adjust like the tone, how gritty it is. It's pretty much, I keep it on the rectifier red, or recto red, which is basically a Mesa dual rectifier. And then you can change your tone also down here. I kept it on passive. Then I kept this. I think I turned it down or turned it up. I don't remember which. But like I said, go back to whatever you want. For a cab, I use the Recto 1 because the Recto 2 for this kind of patch just sounds way too bassy, and then anything else sounds way too fizzy. So again with that, and also for the mic, that's gonna be out on the cab. I'm on the cab. Yeah, okay, I was just there. I use a 58 dynamic, or I believe I don't remember which. I don't remember, but I keep the drive all the way down because it sounds really horrible if you turn that up. So that's pretty much it for that. Then I believe next is your graphic equalizer, and I just hit edit. So if you hit edit, that's another thing that I found out, not since last night. I always knew about this, not really, but I watched it from another YouTube's channel that I was watching. You just hit edit, and it brings you through all the parameters that you've just made, or not parameters, but whatever. Anyway, so fuck. Layout. Okay. So I don't like a whole lot of like muddy bass, so I usually keep this at 0, the one that's highlighted right now. But that's at a 0.2. You don't really notice a difference. That's a little bit higher just to give it that bass sound. And then 250 and the 500, you kind of want to scoop those out because that's where your muddy range is. And then I don't mess with the 1000 hertz. 2, 4, and 8. The 2 and 8 I keep about relatively the same level. And then the 4000 I keep there. And then I don't mess with the mix. And pretty much that's it. So I'm going to show you how this sounds. Go recall. One more thing before I do that. If you do add in another drive pedal, like how I kept that one blank, which I added in this one so it was more gritty, like I was saying earlier. I don't mess with the EQ with it at all. I haven't experimented with it neither. I never messed with any of that. And the only thing in this I did was just made it another T808. So anyway, this is what it sounds like. Go ahead, joke me for my shitty shirt, man. I'm using I'm not using the upper cab, I'm using the lower cab. And I know this kind of sounds weird with the camera mic, but like I said in my gent video, I don't have the time to run everything to an interface, set it up, and fucking record, then EQ with that, and then just go through a bunch of bullshit just to hear you people say, oh, your tone sucks. Okay, I did not waste my time for that. So if you're happy with the camera audio, I'm pretty sure if you can get it good through the camera audio, you'll be satisfied. Excuse me, I haven't played any Deathcore lately, it's all gent. pretty much my tone. It might sound a little bit more bassy just because it's cranked, so I'll turn it down and then just kind of play again, just so you might get a general better idea. So yeah, another thing, this is my RG3X FM1. I'm using a DiMarzio Crunch Lab in the bridge. So no, it's not a stock pickup, but the neck pickup, which I just played on, does sound tinny, like it's being split coiled, but it's not. Which you guys just might say right there, oh, he doesn't know what split coiling is. This is the neck split coiled. Which there's like a very small difference within this neck pickup. With my bridge pickup, there's like no difference on my neck pickup at all. So if you're like one of those people that like actives, go for actives if you want. I don't really care, it's not my say. I like the pickups that they're not chulo. Like, okay, if you go to the DiMarzio's page, they show you the output, and I believe the Crunch Lab and Liquefier are like within like the 400 zone. And then if you look at an active pickup, it's like well over, it's like 510. And I just don't really like actives, even though I got actives in my Schecter. I thought actives were the shit, and then it just kind of came around and just bit me in the ass, and I was like, ew, I don't like these. So, yeah. That's pretty much it for a Deathcore patch. If you like it, I'd share it with you just so you didn't have to go through all the work. But as explained in my last video, damn, I use that fucking reference a lot. I don't have a MIDI to USB cable, but cha. That's pretty much my X-Fex right there. So yeah, if you need help with anything, just comment.